Coach, wrapped up the regular season Sunday, a back-and-forth match with Campbell. Those two programs share the regular season title. Just your thoughts on how Sunday played out and I guess how that contributed to a co-championship over the bigger picture for this program this year.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday was an exciting day in Varsity Gym. We had a great crowd, and I felt like everything was set up to have a great showdown between two really good teams. Obviously, the result wasn't the result we wanted. Obviously, we wanted to win that dual meet, and we were undefeated going into the match. They had already had one loss in the conference, so it was outright title or a share at stake, and we ended up not with the result we wanted. There's some reasons for that. We've got to fix some of those things. But I was extremely impressed with our crowd, our fan support. The energy in Varsity Gym was awesome. It was a great atmosphere to compete in. Just wished we'd had a little bit different result on Sunday.
Just conference-wide, maybe 4 or 5 teams, it seemed like there was not that much margin of difference of you had to be kind of on your game and wrestle really well and not take anything for granted, just the way it seemed like the conference race played out this year.
Yeah, I mean, every match we wrestled this year, I tried to prepare our team and tried to make sure they understood that on any given day, you can be vulnerable to any team. And especially with the things that played out with our season and injuries and things like that, we just didn't have a lot of room for error. And so I tried to instill that in our guys every single match because I knew there were a lot of matches that were going to be tight and close, and you had to win those close matches to win dual meets. And, fortunately, we were able to do that for the majority of the season, and I think that was ultimately the difference on Sunday. 3 or 4 of those really close matches that I thought we would win a couple of them, we didn't win them. And hats off to Campbell. They did a great job, came in, wrestled with a lot of energy, and won those close matches that needed to be won. And that's the thing for us. I mean, the margin for error is very small. And so we have to get the most out of ourselves each and every match in all positions and utilize every second of every match to try to win. And that's what we got to do a better job of at the tournament.
With a little bit of time before the SoCons are March 7th and March 8th, how have you approached that, just, I guess, mentally and just the mental part of that with your team moving forward from the regular season to the postseason?
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we wanted to finish the dual season undefeated, but we know that, we can turn some of those results around from Sunday. And even throughout the dual schedule, individually now it's about wrestling as individuals, but also contributing to a team score. And so right now it's just preparing our guys, making sure they're healthy, and our conditioning's good. We just got to make sure our guys are rested and being mentally sharp. I think our guys were prepared physically throughout the entire season. I think there was matches where maybe we weren't as sharp mentally as we needed to be throughout the season, and we've learned from those experiences. And I think hopefully just taking all that stuff we've learned throughout the season and our competition and our schedule, and making sure that we apply that to our preparation both mentally and physically for the conference tournament. And I think our guys just need to be mentally sharp. That's what it's going to take for us to win a tournament title and for us to get the most number of guys that we can get to the NCAA tournament. We've got to be more mentally sharp in those pivotal key moments. We've got to be sharper and more resilient in those moments.
Now with the tournament, it had been in Boone for several years in a row. Now it's in Asheville. It's now a 2-day event instead of a 1-day event. Are there any logistics about that have maybe changed the way that you'll prepare in advance for that?
Not really. I mean, our guys have had a couple of opportunities this year to make weight 2 days in a row. They've obviously been in tournament formats that have had, to have to wrestle, tough matches back to back to back. And I think we're prepared for that. The conference tournament looks a little different this year with a 2-day format and being in a different location and a neutral site. I think there's going to be some logistics that we've got to kind of manage that goes along with that, not having, a familiar venue and some things like that. But that's not that different when you go on the road and compete. So it's about controlling what we can control. Doesn't matter what the venue is. Our goals don't change, and we've got to make it a home advantage, a home meet advantage for us. just by how we wrestle and getting our fans and our alumni engaged and building momentum throughout the tournament. And that's what we did last year. Obviously, it was here in Boone, but I still think we're going to have a lot of our fans that are going to make the trip to Asheville. Venue might change, but the goals don't change. And our guys, hopefully you're going to see the best version of them that they've been all year.
I guess lastly, we're recording this pretty shortly before the allocations come out, maybe a day before that, of just the position that you feel like you've put your team in, and just overall maybe a look at how the conference, because those are really impactful decisions that make for how those allocations are tied to the SoCon championships.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously we're a little bit anxious for those bids to come out and see how many bids are allocated at each weight class. I think the Southern Conference has several weight classes that can qualify multiple bids, but there's just so much that goes into the process of determining those bids with the winning percentage, RPI, and the coaches rank. And then obviously in the coaches rank, there's some gamesmanship amongst the different coaches in conference voting and kind of how they rank your guys and how you rank their guys and things like that. But I think it all kind of comes out in the wash. I do think we've put our guys in a good position. The ones that took care of business, I think they've got a great shot at qualifying a bid. And that's kind of what we're going to wait and see. And hopefully some of the other schools in the conference qualify some bids, automatic bids. Maybe in a couple of weight classes, I think there's maybe a handful of weight classes that we could qualify multiple bids, whether that be 2 or 3 bids. And obviously, you want to qualify as many pre-allocated spots as you can, because it's a little nerve-wracking after the championship having to wait till Tuesday or Wednesday of the following week to see if you get an at-large bid. And we really don't want to put ourselves in that position. So we're hoping we qualify a lot of automatic bids, and our guys are ready to secure those bids.